when it comes to branding, I have a little bit of a like unique perspective or approach to what I do. A lot of people think your brand might be, when it comes to like the design aspect, might be a logo and, you know, the colors that you use, which it is.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of people fail to do the foundational work that it takes to really like know to get to that place. So
exactly.
I do a lot of the work with my clients where they might be like, what does like my mission statement or my target audience have to do with what colors and what my logo is going to look like? But
Everything,
everything, exactly.
everything.
So
We are official. We are official. Marika Beroukas. I said it. We talked
oh my
about it like 15
god.
times.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right after because you just told me, and I don't want to say it again because I'll mess up literally in a few minutes. So I just shared it on IG. Let me actually go back in and do like the Facebook watch, and then we can like really get into it. But how are you doing?
Perfect. I'm doing well. Yeah, just it's over 100 the past couple days here, so we're in a major heat wave, but I'm surviving.
Now, where are you located?
Southern California.
Okay, see, so I'm in AZ.
Oh, so you're like desert right now.
Yo, yeah, for real, for real. Like it's
So you
hot
feel
here
me, you
too.
feel
Like
me.
it was like 115-ish, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Light weather.
That's what
Nothing
it was.
crazy, nothing crazy.
I know, manageable.
You know, I'm not gonna complain. You know what I'm saying? I could be in Portland right now. Let's start a
Yeah.
watch party though.
All
Going
right.
live with, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, with me.
Marika Beroukas. See,
Hey, twice? Dang.
right? It's my day. It's my day
It is.
for sure. Start watch party. Okay. Now that we're official, we're live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on the watch party. I
Uh-oh.
said your name twice. You know what I mean? Like it can't get any better than this. So yeah,
We're-
no. So how are you doing? I'm glad to have you on. Like we were talking like before this
I
that
know.
um I like working on the holidays, and you do too. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
even think when we set this up a while ago that it would
me
be Labor Day.
either.
I'm just like whatever. But like this weird like competition where I
Hmm.
feel like okay, because everyone works Monday through Friday, right? Like
Yeah,
everyone works
exactly.
9 to 5. It is
Yep.
the after hours. It is the weekends. It is the holidays when they're not doing shit, and I'm like, yo,
I'm getting
this is when I
ahead.
make it up. That's why
Yep.
edge ahead. So for me, I love working on days like this.
Yep, me too. We're laboring on Labor Day.
Right? Yo, there you go. You must be a branding brand. Look at you. Just punchlines. Look at you.
Hashtag it.
Right? Definitely a hashtag. Okay, so let me actually do an official intro. So of course, Brandon, I'm the host, Brand Talk Live. Again, with the excellent branding expert, branding guru. She's just as good behind the camera as she is in front of the camera. All things design. Marika Beroukas. This is third time. It is the charm.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's now edging my brain. Uh, super excited to have you on.
Thank you. I know. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, no, and we actually, which seems like, oh my
Forever
goodness,
ago.
forever ago, right?
It
Because
feels
we just,
like it was like years ago.
you know what's crazy about that? So we met, so people that don't know, to give a context, so we met this year in January. We
Yeah,
both spoke on a panel discussion with Gen Z. I've talked to her, Gen Z, my peoples,
love her.
and we met at the event. And honestly, like that feels like that was 20 years ago. But then at the same time, it's crazy to think that it's Labor Day already,
I know.
right?
That's so weird. I know. I feel like the last few months have gone so fast, but then January, February feels like it was last year, or at
Yeah.
least.
Well,
Yeah.
I think because we've been so out of touch with
Yeah.
doing shit. You know what I mean? Like, so the fact that the memory I have of you is us doing real, like no masks, no
I
whatever,
know.
like hugging people, talking, shaking
I
hands,
was
kissing babies,
traveling.
always. Like, because you came up. So
Yeah.
that distant memory of like real normal life seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, yo, it feels like it should still be March. 'Cause I haven't done shit, but
I know.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
So let the people know for what I didn't say about you.
Okay.
Although I said a lot. What it is you do,
Yeah.
and kind of like your background a little bit.
Yeah. So what I do now is branding, which includes like design and website development, and then also ongoing content for social media, for website, kind of just a strategy to help carry over your brand story and messaging and identity into everything that you do.
So I want to kind of dig into that, right? Because branding now is almost like a convoluted term. Like
Yeah.
everyone uses it. Like everyone does branding, right, of some sort.
Yeah.
And yet a lot of us that do branding, we do stuff totally different, right?
Yeah.
So let's actually like break it down. Because for
Okay.
me, like even yesterday, like I got a call from a friend and they were like, "Do you do PR work?" And I'm like, "I don't do PR work. Like I've gone on TV, but I'm not. That's not my gig. That's not what I do."
Yeah.
So where does like what is where you pick up and then where do you drop it off and like say, okay, I'm gonna do something else? Like what is your niche or what is your expertise? Although I know you can do it all. I know
Yeah.
there's nothing you can't do, but what's your area when it comes to like specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I have a niche, but I also feel like I don't put myself in just one bucket. So
Definitely.
when it comes to branding, I have a little bit of a like unique perspective or approach to what I do. A lot of people think your brand might be, when it comes to like the design aspect, might be a logo and, the colors that you use, which it is.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of people fail to do the foundational work that it takes to really like know to get to that place. So
exactly.
I do a lot of the work with my clients where they might be like, what does like my mission statement or my target audience have to do with what colors and what my logo is going to look like? But
Everything.
everything, exactly.
Everything.
So yeah, so I
Yeah.
think I think that like my specialty is really like getting to those roots
Yeah.
and making people do that work,
Yeah.
and that just carries over into the design stuff that we do. So I mean, anything you can imagine visually, whether it's like in store, if it logo, digital, website, everything, that's kind of my specialty.
Yeah.
And then I do work with a very select, like small number of clients just because, well, I did just hire 2 people recently, but we have a very small, I don't think you, we're a very small team.
Yeah.
So I take a very limited amount of clients on a monthly basis.
Okay.
But yeah, just doing like content, so photo, video, and just like design and kind of storytelling and helping them come up with their content for the months.
Yeah, because we talked about Jen, and that's how we met. And
Yeah,
her like
her
her
brand.
website, her stuff looks so dope. And I was like, damn, like her shit is stuff.
Yeah,
And for me, like to take from that, like I don't do any of the graphic stuff. Like I understand like, color psychology and all the other color theory and all that other stuff. But for me, I'm like you, but whereas I'm more like, okay, we figure that out to what you
mhm,
should be doing. I'll let you produce it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Or if it's a larger scale, if it's like original content then I'm
yep,
like all for that. And then also because my background, like personality, like you can put me in front of the
yep,
camera and then I'll
exactly.
do that.
Yeah,
So there's so many aspects.
yeah,
But you were saying like your business has taken off. So
yeah,
what are some changes that you've seen impact positively? I always want to paint the picture of the positive aspect. Like I literally just posted today, like things don't happen to you, they happen for you, right? And that
yep,
really is my mindset, that really is my perspective. And you talked about how your business has kind of essentially elevated and grown since COVID. So
yeah.
talk about that. What have you done? What put you in a position to be successful when this happened? And then what are you seeing?
I mean, I've had my business now for like a little over 2 years, and it's
Mm,
changed a lot since I very first started. But I think that's all kind of just part of the growing and like learning process. You experience things, and then you find out you change your processes.
mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't think I would like change anything about what I've done, but COVID has really honestly like propelled a lot of what I do because a lot of my clients that I worked with were impacted by the shutdowns
Mm-hmm.
and all the different, new rules and people staying home. My business wasn't impacted, which of course, I feel fortunate, and I
Yeah,
am not naive to the fact that a lot of people did.
absolutely.
um, but it kind of just caused me to really like think about what can I do with my clients who are impacted? Like, how can we shift what they're doing, but still stay true to their brand messaging and
Mhm.
everything? And how can they turn this into a positive as well? Even if they're not generating as much revenue right now, how can it like help them in the future? And so, I've actually taken on more clients during COVID
Yeah,
than what I was working with before.
yeah.
So, it's just been a lot of adapting and kind of like thinking about who I want to work with rather than a lot of my clients were in a very similar industry, in the aesthetic industry, other than Jen, of course, and like
Yeah,
some little outliers.
yeah,
Um, but I've started working with a lot of people in other industries, more so just people that I align with
Yeah,
and that I can like get behind their vision for their business, and that they have, um, you know, the motivation to like kind of think outside the box and like what, you know, not try and follow what successful people in their industry have done, but,
absolutely.
you
Carve
know,
out an
stay.
identity for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think Jen is an example, because I know your audience knows her, is
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
she's such a perfect example of, I mean, she's in the mortgage industry, which like,
No
you
one
know,
thinks of that as being like a sexy,
yeah,
aesthetically pleasing, pun intended, because that's the name of it. Like, oh,
yeah,
this is going to be the company that we're going to look to for brand inspiration. But she's
yeah,
become that.
yeah,
And the thing, like I say that, I tell people this all the time. And when we talk about marketing and branding at any capacity, like what you're looking to do is what is a differentiator in the space? Like how can you
yeah,
differentiate yourself in a positive way,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So when you're in an industry like mortgage where no one's marketing, when you're in
Yeah,
a place, I say all the time, when you're in a place like the Northwest where people don't dress up, like
yeah,
you don't realize like that is the greatest opportunity. Like on any other aspect of business, you look at where no one else is, that
yeah,
there's a need that you can fill. Well,
yeah,
you take it to your branding or your marketing where
yeah,
you're at a place where no one else is, where there's a need that you can fill and that will be appreciated, like
yeah,
the ROI is even higher. Like the ROI of having a brand in an
yeah.
industry that's underrepresented, or the ROI of being aesthetically pleasing in a place that's underrepresented, like you're
Yeah.
going to have even a greater impact.
Well, and people don't realize that, you know, just because you don't, your clients aren't just the people who need you right now.
Yeah.
They're people, they're everybody, you know,
Yeah.
like Jen knows if someone's not buying a house or refinancing a house now, but they come to one of her events, like when they do get to that point, they're going to think of her because of what she's established. I think people get caught up in like who's successful in their industry, and then like, let's model that, but let's put my colors on it, or let's do this,
Yeah.
but instead of like doing what's authentic to them.
Exactly. And I think like at the end of the day, going back to what you said earlier, like your brand is everything. Like that's the foundation. That's how you differentiate yourself. And that's really the only thing you have is your authenticity, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're always like a and one, if you will, or like a version 2.0 of someone else, like
Yeah.
you can never really win on that. So people don't hear it from me. I want to get your opinion because
Yeah.
I even have clients right now and they're like, okay, now is the time because we're in, because it's a tough time. We want to reduce. A lot of times, the first area that they take money from is their marketing and their branding.
Yeah.
Not realizing that their marketing and their branding is what is going to sustain them, to stay top of mind because everyone else is pulling back. Again, we talk about how do you be different when everyone else is pulling back is when you can lean in. Even though it's difficult, I get that. But also, right now, your branding and marketing that's your forecasting for 2021 and beyond.
Yeah.
So talk about the importance, or I guess I was gonna ask a question. What is your opinion on people, how they should look towards their marketing and branding budgets at a time like now, versus even before? Is this
Yeah.
a time where they should focus even more
Yeah.
selfishly, or what is your opinion?
Well, I mean, I think 100% there, I mean, there's so much that you can do branding wise and marketing that's organic that you're not going to spend money on. It's just your time. And I think that a lot of people who aren't able to like work their normal business right now have time. So
Exactly.
it's learning how to pivot and kind of like shift what you're spending time on, to still propel like your brand and stay top of mind, like you said. I mean, so much of branding is storytelling and like getting people to like know you, know your personality, know your business. And what I saw a lot of my clients do that was really successful, at least at the beginning, and now they've kind of shifted back to, you know, a little bit more normalcy, but still being cognizant of, I mean, COVID being a
Yeah.
reality, but like a lot of people were kind of shifting towards being a resource to their patients or being a resource to their clients that maybe is a little unconventional to how they normally would, but
Mhm.
it's still staying true to who they are as a brand,
Yeah.
and allowing people to, you know, still maintain that connection with them
Yeah.
and maybe see a different side of them too, because I think a lot of people kind of don't know where to draw the line of what do I share that's personal versus um, business related. And
Yeah.
it also depends on your business. Like you and I have a personal brand where like we are the brand, but when
Exactly.
you have a business, you kind of have to, um, shift a little bit differently on how you share personal details of like who your business is and like what the personality is. But yeah, I think that, I mean, this is a better time than ever to really hone in on who you are and like continue pushing your marketing and branding out, to your people.
Well, I think one of the advantages, I've had this conversation with my Grey magazine thing, is like the veil has been removed, right? Like now
Yeah.
is the time where people are being as authentic. They've been forced in a position to show authenticity, right? Because we're all in our homes. That's something that we can all relate to. We're all saying, whether you have stuff behind you, whether you have dogs, whatever, family,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, and now there's been this, like, almost like this breath of fresh air. People they don't expect it to be overly, you know what I mean? Like now, like they don't even want to see it overly like beautified, if you will. Like they want it like as raw as
Exactly.
possible. And so I think that's one of the advantages.
I think
Talk
so.
about it, because you mentioned, and I'm a big proponent of this, and like you said, you talked about Jen as an example. I feel
Yeah.
like regardless of branding and marketing,
Mhm.
you can't dictate when someone's going to make a buying decision or needs to make a
Right.
purchase or is in the market. What
Yeah.
you can do is you can become the resource so that when they are ready, you're
Yep.
the person that they go to, right?
Yeah.
And so uh, I kind of feel like that should be your focus all the time. What's your opinion on that? Because
Yeah.
again, you just want to be top of mind. You want to be like, okay, I tell people when I do presentations, like, look, you want to build it. You want to create like a library of content so that when they do go and find out who you are, they already know who you are. But also besides that, like, you want to be the person that they're friends with, they have a relationship with. And then when they do need to make a purchase, you're the only person they think of. Like there are no other options because you branded yourself well enough and became such an impact to their life on a regular on an everyday situation that now they almost feel guilty if they went with someone else.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think 100% that is the way to go. I mean, I do that with a lot of like clients or people that I haven't even worked with yet. Like if they need a referral for something, I'm happy to help facilitate that. I'm there for them if they have questions about something, even if they haven't hired me. Of course, there's a line that you draw because like
I don't
we're
help anybody.
we're here
I'm
to
not going to
make
help you.
money.
I'm not going to help you at all. No, I'm joking.
I know, but I do think that just being a resource for people goes a long way.
Yeah.
And if that's already in your wheelhouse of what you do, like if I'm giving branding or like printing or my sign company that I use, like, or somebody asks me, oh, where did that client get this? And I'm like, okay, here, like, let me just send you in the right direction. Like that is something that I already know. So for
Exactly.
me, it doesn't take much effort for me to just be kind and
To
give
be
that
nice, right?
forward.
But
Yeah.
even more so, what I mean too, in addition to just doing that, which you obviously, like I said, I do that, you do that.
Yeah.
Being a resource to your clientele. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Whereas like some people get in the aspect of their marketing is actually just selling. Like this
Yeah.
is
No.
literally just push. I'm going to ram my product down your throat, and I'm going to talk about how great I am, as opposed to becoming a resource in the regards of you're helping them, right? When you actually think of how can I bring value, that is what actually creates more sales. Like they're like that's what's crazy. Like the less you sell, the more you sell. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's always, especially like with my ongoing clients that I work with, that's
Mhm.
always our like strategy is always that the hard sell is like the smallest portion of what you do.
Yeah,
The rest is education, it's personality, it's showing like your brand proof. It's showing what you do. It's
exactly.
like walking your walk and showing people.
Giving
And
credibility.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
that will
or
sell more.
building credibility, I should say.
Yeah, and that sells more than, just pushing your product out there all the time or your service or whatever your offering is. Because, I mean, a lot of times I think we assume that people like don't read between the lines, but people do.
Yeah.
People see, like an educational post on something and they're like, oh, I resonate with that. And then they're like, mental note that I'm going to, come back to that when I'm ready, that kind of thing. So I think that there's a lot to be said about being a resource for people and not just always trying to push what you're
Yeah,
selling.
so so you mentioned earlier, I want to go back to that. Talk
Mhm.
about what is your opinion? Obviously, you mentioned it depends on the industry you're in.
Yeah.
Again, I had a conversation recently with like some major brands, and you would think that they have to actually show they don't show maybe the person as much, but they
Yeah.
definitely have drawn a line in the sand with everything that's going on, right? And they feel like now is the time to draw a line in the sand, whatever. Um, Bringing that back, what do you feel like is a percentage of how personal a brand should be and how corporate they should be? And again, if there's no right answer, there's
I
no
know.
wrong answer. I think it's up to the individual. But what is I'll say, like, for me, let me take it to me.
Yeah.
So I don't even like social media, or I should say, I don't care. I like the basis of just, I don't care where you're going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't care as much about what
Yeah.
you're eating, right? I don't, whatever. I understand that people do appreciate that. When I
Hmm.
decided that this was an aspect of my business that was necessary for me to be successful, I leaned in.
Yeah.
And then I get more DMs pre-COVID when I'm in the gym or when I'm singing in
Yeah.
the car.
Singing. I
Like,
know. They're
literally, like, I don't care what I post. If I sing in the car, I will get more DMs than anything else. Now, they might not save that post as much, but I will get more responses and engagement.
Yeah.
And so, like, the more real I am, the better. But that's me. And I realize, like, the more personal I can be, the more it's going to scale my brand, like you said, because we're in a business where they relate to us.
Yeah.
I will only share what I want to share. Like, there's no, you aren't going to make me share anything. But
No.
I'm extremely private for being extremely open, if you
Yeah.
will. 'Cause I'll share more stuff about myself that I don't care about than most people will. But well, so that's how I go about it. What is your opinion and your take on that for the average brand? That's like, oh, because a lot of people are like, okay, do I share this? Do I not? Is this too
Yeah.
personal? Is it not? You know what I mean? Should I voice my opinion? Should I not? So what is your take?
I mean, I think it definitely depends, but I mean, I think I really like showing like a little bit of personality, but I think you have to go back kind of when you're thinking about content, especially as a business, is doing like your content pillars. So like a lot of that's going to be, your personality and you kind of like who your brand is and deciding what type of content you're going to share. So maybe it's not you like, I don't know, cook, like some people might show themselves cooking, but like if you're a business
Not
example,
me, because I can't cook for shit. Not me. Although I do want to do a cooking show.
okay, well, so
But
for you,
that's a whole nother. I've been talking about it for a while. I do want to do a cooking show because I can't cook. I think it'll be amazing content.
oh my God.
Myself and a friend of mine, Arun, we're going to talk about when I get back in Portland. I want to do a cooking show, but that's because I also want to start like a whole media different show, whatever. Like, I want to
Yeah,
do it, but I saw cooking show for me. But okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
no, I think that, I think that kind of just what you had said about share, you get more replies and like comments on personal stuff that you share, but you don't get as many like saves and reshares and things like that.
Exactly.
Well, but I think that it's so important to have that balance
Hmm.
because I know a lot of clients of mine will be like, well, I only want to like these posts do well. So like, let's just do more of those. But
Yeah.
that's defeating the purpose of having a balance of everything. You can't get so caught up in like, oh, this gets more of this gets more of this. So let's do more of that. You have to keep that balance. So I think it's just finding what feels comfortable for you and what connects with your brand. So like if sharing what you do on the weekend connects with your brand, then do it.
Yeah.
But also make sure that you're sharing other valuable content in between. So it's making sure that you have a balance because otherwise if you're just sharing all personal, then people don't know what you do. But if
Exactly.
you're sharing a balance of your business, of your work, of, educational stuff, of personal, then I think I'm a big proponent for sharing personal as
Yeah.
well. But as long as you have all the other pieces.
I think you just need to, like you said, which is a great point. You need to have variety, right?
Yeah.
And you need to be cognizant of the numbers, but don't be directed by the numbers. And what I mean by that is understand what they are. Like, share your personal stuff. That I know that that's not going to necessarily give me business, but it will make me seem like a real person. And
Exactly.
then I'll come back with with a tip that people are going to say, but well, because it's a caption, it's not going
Yeah.
to get as many likes, but it's going to get more shares and reshares. You mentioned something about having a pillar of branding content. Talk about that because I think I know what you mean, but I think
Mhm.
we'll give people to hear what that is.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could go into creating content for your business, kind of just like however you want and be like, oh, let's post this, that, and the other. But
Mhm.
typically what I do with people is we create content pillars. So there's like primary, like kind of overarching themes. So there's like brand proof, there's, like brand personality. And, you kind of have these like top buckets.
Yeah.
And then underneath that, you determine like, you know, under this one, we have all of our events, all of our offerings, so these are like our hard sells. And
Hmm.
then under here, this is like the personal stuff. This is like get to know our team, get to know me. This is, all these different things. And then under this bucket, we're doing, here's us like actually working in our business behind the scenes, styling, doing whatever like has pertains to your business. So you have these pillars and
Gotcha.
you have all of the categories of what you do underneath there. And then each month you're, creating content under each of those buckets. And then that gives you a nice rotation of everything. So you have that variety and you're making sure that you're hitting everything that you want people to know about you each, every so often.
No, I mean that's great. I think too because then you're staying true to who you are, but you're
Yeah.
allowing different aspects of your brand to be seen and be heard, which actually gives you, you get a larger reach while not being like spread too thin.
Yeah.
How much is too much? Like how often should someone post? I mean, obviously there's a quality versus quantity aspect,
Yeah.
but in an ideal situation, how often should someone be posting fresh content, new content? And then does that carry across? Is it different between the platform? Like, should you share more on Facebook and less on Instagram, or vice versa, or more on LinkedIn? Like, what is your opinion?
I mean, I really think it depends on who it is and like what your goals are with your social media.
Okay.
Because for me, it's like some clients, we have a totally different strategy for LinkedIn because that's more of a business to business type platform.
Yeah.
And you're talking to people maybe a little bit different than you would to consumers on like Instagram or Facebook. I mean, the nice thing, well, I know Facebook has stories too, but I know like for me, a lot of the businesses that I work with, we do a lot like, we don't really limit the amount of stories that we do. We don't try and overload it so that people skip through.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like if you're really trying to stay consistent, I would do like at least a post a day and then pop at least one or two stories on your feed as well.
And now you like I said, you can do you're good at so much. Like I'm not good at that many things, but you can do photos too.
Yeah.
How often should people refresh
Well,
their photos? Because obviously, the more you can, the better. But then there's the aspect of being authentic too.
yeah.
So
So I definitely, I mean, even though I do photo, it just in the branding space. So it's like more just like personal brand type photos.
yeah,
Um, I always tell people like let's do a few outfits, like different stuff, but like I would rather do smaller sessions more frequently so that you have variety and then you start kind of like rotating things in. But I also always tell people like post phone photos too in between because I like the balance of like a selfie and then like a professional photo and then like a photo of something else that has to do with your business. So it doesn't feel like it's like overly polished,
yeah.
you know?
And that's okay. So let me ask you this. I feel like I'm just asking all these amazing questions
Okay.
for the people because you have all the answers. So Instagram. I know
Yeah.
people that be like, okay, I want it to be extremely polished and look the same. I want to have filters on everything. And then you have people that are like an influencer, celebrities, whatever, and they have shit all across the board, but because they're actually really capturing their life. Is there a preference that you have? Is there a direction they should go with, or does it depend on what industry they're in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on a lot of stuff. Like, I think it depends on the industry you're in for sure. Like, a lot of my clients are in the aesthetic industry, which is like medical spa. And
Hmm.
so a lot of their content is before and after pictures. So filtering those would be not a good thing.
Yeah,
So it's more just like working on lighting. But then someone who's like trying to kind of be more like a lifestyle, like maybe blogger or something like that, and wants things to look polished. I think there's a difference between things looking the same versus cohesive. To
okay,
me,
yeah,
I lean towards things being cohesive, which means like you're staying within kind of your palette, but you're also getting a variety of professional, authentic, and then rotating in other things too, things that feel like on brand to what you're doing.
yeah,
Because I think that I don't know, like from just I try to look at it from like a consumer myself as a consumer, and like I look at the pages that I enjoy looking at, and it's not because they have like the exact rotation of like this, and like all the photos look exactly the same and it looks
Yeah,
like a stock image site. I'm like, I like when everything looks cool together, but
yeah.
like it looks like it's real, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, like I too is like just like from a fashion perspective,
Mhm.
like it's almost like when you're dressing monochromatically versus like having something that like contrast. Like you need
Yeah.
even when you dress monochromatically, you need some like contrast so that everyone picks it
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? Like if everything is identical, then there's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just called kind of like blends them together, and it's less attention grabbing, if you will.
Yeah.
For sure.
Agreed.
So I can't not ask. So what should people be doing? You said a lot of stuff. Right now, COVID,
Yeah.
we're kind of getting back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't get too much of a setback after Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I
But
know.
right, like I'm like, okay, shit was cool a week ago, and now next week, hopefully it stays good. But what should people be doing? Businesses, brands, influencers, whatever. How should they keep top of mind? What should they be doing right now to just like elevate their brand and gain market share? Because I think that's super important. That's what the opportunity is right now. Like you can really gain market share right now because
Yeah.
again, people are pulling back and doing less.
Yeah, I think like the advice and things that I worked on with a lot of my clients is creating content in like two different buckets. One's like educational and one's
Yeah,
really shareable content.
got you. Okay.
So, because right now people are consuming a lot more than they probably were when they were working like physically in a business all the time, or, you know, didn't have as much time. I think this has given us an opportunity to kind of like reset and
Hmm.
like think about what's important to us and consuming content that we want to consume. And so I think does it, you know, whatever your industry is, think about like what would be shareable. So like what can I post that people will want to share, because then you're getting, you know, your brand out there and then you're staying top of mind for people. And then educational content, I mean, I think is an always bucket that you want to be
Yeah.
in. But right now, I mean, there's so many cool like opportunities for people to um, provide like free educational resources or do like small little things on their Instagram or Facebook, kind of like how, you know, like you're doing this whole thing, which is amazing, and like creating this cool community. So I think anything where you can create that community, stay top of mind for people, and like have people just, you know, start establishing you as someone that they identify in whatever your specialty is always going to be the best way to.
No, how is your consumption changed? Like, how is you as not as a brand guru, but as just how is your consumption changed personally since this has occurred? Are you noticing things? Are you watching more TV than you were? Are you doing more stuff? Like, what are you doing differently that you weren't doing when I met you in January 2020?
Yeah. I mean, I think that at the beginning I watched a lot more TV.
Yeah.
But like as of recent, not really. I've been more just kind of like enjoying like I don't know. I'm like a very creative person in
Okay.
multiple ways. Like I do design, but I also paint, and I just like love creative anything. And
Yeah.
so for me, I just like try and always just find inspiration places. So like I'm on my social media feeds trying to like go down rabbit holes of like cool things and like saving a bunch of stuff. I'm on Pinterest. I think that I've been just kind of like doing a balance of things. But I definitely feel like I've been consuming like smaller, like bite-sized content,
Okay.
you know? Like watching this video and then finding this one, like, you know, with
Yeah.
mostly on Instagram, but
So
yeah.
your discoverability is up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For me, for sure. I think
Yeah.
maybe also because like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what I've told my clients since the beginning of COVID. And so I'm like, here I am consuming more
Yeah.
like
No, I
subconscious.
think I think everyone's consuming a lot more. I know for me, I'm like you. I'm all TV'd out. Like
Yeah.
literally, like I'm all TV'd out. I watched more TV in the months of March and April than I
Mhm.
had literally no bullshit in probably like 2 years prior because I'm not a big TV person. I watch specific shows, but that's it. And then also I was in nature more in
Yes,
probably a
me
2 week
too.
period than I have in my entire life. Like I can't swim. I'm such a statistic. I'm a black man who can't swim. You know what I mean? Like I don't camp. But I was literally outside in the grass, and I was like, oh, this is what this is like. Like I hadn't done that ever.
I
But
know.
that's what I see. I have this quick hit round called branded behavior.
Okay.
Um, and some things you can expand upon.
Okay.
There's some things you just gotta, just gotta answer, right? So just got, give us an insight, makes it fun, whatever, whatever.
I'm like, my
So
camera shut off. Sorry. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no, no, no. This is legit. This is legit. So I'll start with something easy. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, dressed up or dressed down? What are you doing?
I'm dressed down, but stylish.
Okay. Yeah, cause you. Oh wait, you. I should say casual or dressed up because you can
Yeah.
be casually
Casual.
fresh.
I'm
Casually
casual.
fresh. Casually fresh.
I
That's a
stay casually
hashtag.
fresh.
That's a hashtag right now.
That's my new
Casually
brand.
fresh.
I'm adding that to my bio after we hang up.
Yo, for real. There you go. That's my thank you for coming on. That I
Thank
give you
you.
a hashtag. Behind the camera or front of the camera?
Behind.
Okay. Reels versus or TikTok?
Reels.
Are you
I
were you
was on TikTok at the beginning of quarantine. I was on TikTok a lot. And
okay?
then now I only watch it when like people send me one. And
Got
I'm
you.
on Instagram more. So like I see the reels.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like a preference. It's just convenience for me.
What's your opinion on Reels versus TikTok from a branding perspective?
I mean, I think,
Do you think it's gonna get sold, or do you think what do you think is gonna happen with TikTok? Do you think it's gonna get sold? Do you think
I
it's gonna go down? What do you?
I mean, I don't know. I can't tell if it's just like a bunch of, like hype or
Yeah.
like trying to cause kind of a commotion. Um, I mean, it looks like people are starting to use Reels. I haven't used it.
Yeah.
I'm usually like super late to like using things for my personal self.
Got you.
Um, but I mean, I think it just depends who your market is because you just think about who's on Instagram versus TikTok. And like, then that could, determine what's better for you. Like TikTok's market is probably like a little bit younger or,
Yeah,
you know, different than people who are already on Instagram. And
for
so,
sure.
yeah, I think it just depends.
I think Facebook just has too much money for them to fail, essentially. And so I
I
feel
know.
like just like they kind of like, I don't think like if TikTok stays alive, I think it will still work. But I feel like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like like you said, you're already there. You're already on Instagram, so it just makes it that much easier. Um, Photos versus video.
Oh, that's hard. I think photo, but I love video.
Yeah,
I do photo. So
yeah,
like for me, like I just capture, like I love being able to capture like a moment. So
yeah. Yeah, I like them both. I don't know. I take it all. I just need a camera.
give me
Whenever the
everything.
camera's on, it's like, yo, do whatever you want to do. I'm just here for the camera.
I think your video. I would pick
Yeah.
video for you.
I see. I like. You know, what's funny. People don't realize. Like, I used to hate. I used to hate public speaking.
Yeah.
But since I think doing live TV,
Yeah.
and I had no idea back then, but doing live TV like prepped me for any type of in person.
Yeah.
Like, just go. And so now it's just like I'm just like when I see a camera, just go. Let's just
Yeah.
go, and then that's what it is. Um, Last but not least, favorite aspect of your job.
I think the people.
Okay.
It's weird because I'm very introverted.
Okay.
Um, I lean towards introvert, and so I love being able.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like what's it called, an ambivert, where it's like introverted extrovert kind of. I don't know.
See, I don't know.
Um,
I heard this Kendrick Lamar line, and he said I'm an antisocial extrovert, and I'm like, that's me. I'm Kendrick. Me
okay,
and
see,
Kendrick are
I'm
the same.
too.
Yeah, we're
But
all Kendricks.
the people that, because a lot of my job is behind the scenes, so I'm doing a lot of work at home, and kind of that's how I can be creative when I feel creative. But I think like my favorite part of what I do is just the people who I've connected with, because I love like deep connections rather than like small talk. Just like is not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's get into the good stuff.
No, I'm definitely, which is hard when I'm like hosting events. When
Yeah.
I was hosting events, because then you have to like bounce around. But I'd much rather if I'm at a space have like a few deep conversations than say
Yeah.
hi to everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And honestly, part of the reason why I like dressing up is so I don't have to say hi to people. like, like I'm like, yo, I'll just dress up, and then whoever wants to have a conversation can come to me, and then
Yeah.
that is such like people don't realize like that is such like a conversation starter. Like so, I said that all the time. Like, yo, if you're antisocial, just dress up. People will
Yep.
come to you, and then the power and the leverage of someone starting a conversation with you makes it so much
You're already like,
easier, and you
mhm.
aren't nervous because then they're interested in you. You just have to like talk. So that's my tip of the day.
Yep.
There you go. Marika, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Plug away, let people know what's next, where they can find you, what's going on before we get off, and all
Okay.
the awesome things you have going on.
I mean, I always have like random stuff going on. Right now, I'm just kind of like working in my business, and I hopefully will have some cool stuff coming up soon, but you guys should follow me on Instagram. That's where I live. I'm pretty much on that exclusively for social. So,
Wait. So you can't tell us anything? We can't get like a sneak peek of like what's going on, like a little like exclusive. I
well, there
feel
might,
like there's something there. That's what I'm asking.
okay, fine. So I might be working behind the scenes on a new podcast that's not with me in it, but
Okay.
of someone cool.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I'm going to give you.
That's what.
And
Okay.
then I
Yeah.
also might be working on a personal project that has nothing to do with like design. Well, actually,
Okay.
maybe it kind of does, but you'd actually probably like it, so we can talk about it. But I don't want to share too many details.
I mean, you can always share all the details with me after this because, yeah, I feel like I
Yeah.
always got going on. So let me know. Let me know. So podcast and then an exclusive behind the scenes. I'm all for it. Thank you. I know I need to get to Cali when we get normal. I need more photos. I need more videos. I need more branding. I already talked to you. When I update my website, I'm going to you. So
Yep.
thank you. Enjoy the rest of the Labor Day weekend. Do you have any plans today? You doing anything fun or you just chilling?
I mean, it's freaking hot, like, but we're probably just gonna grill later and just chill. I have some work to get done, and then yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing. I know. I ate yesterday, and I didn't eat that bad. I ate more than normal, but I didn't eat that bad. So I feel good about myself. I am gonna go to the gym though. I am gonna go to the gym,
Good
and
for you.
and I'm gonna work. You know, like you said, I'm gonna labor on Labor Day, and put my competition to shame.
Exactly.
There we go. Well, thank you again. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I will hit you up offline to get the details of what you need to tell me about. And
Yes.
yeah, I'll just be in contact.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.